Today we're going to use the example of Tom the plumber. Okay, so Tom is a plumber and he decides he wants to set up his own plumbing company called Tom's Plumbing Company. But he's been stressed out. It's been going on a while and he doesn't know what's going on. And the reason why Tom is making the mistake and he's stressed out is because he still thinks like Tom the plumber rather than think like the owner of Tom's Plumbing Company. The biggest mistake that Tom made was he didn't set out an organisational chart, and we're going to use this graph just to explain. The first thing Tom must do is he must set out every role within the company. CEO, general manager, sales, marketing, accounts, administration, customer care, works, HR. Tom's in charge of the works. Tom is also the #1 plumber and he has a helper. In this organisation here, there's 2 employees. There's Tom and Tom's helper. Tom's helper just fulfills one role, which is a helper to Tom, whereas Tom fulfills the role of CEO, general manager, sales, marketing, accounts, admin, customer care, works, HR, works. He's also the plumber as well. So, in order for Tom to get clarity on what's going on, he must understand that he is now in all of these roles. And at any given time in the company, there will always be a problem. And the problem will be linked to one of these people, one of these roles. As time goes on, Tom can hire more and more people. So for example, the first person that Tom might hire is somebody to help him with his accounts. So he might hire a lady called Jane. Now Tom doesn't have to do the administration anymore. The next thing is Tom might hire somebody doing his accounts, who might be Mary. So now Tom doesn't have to do the accounts or the administration no more. And the more and more the company grows, the more and more Tom can take himself out of these boxes and replace them, take himself out of these roles and replace them with someone else. Now, the problem is Tom is stressed out. He can't keep up with the workload. So in this situation, the problem with Tom is that he has lots and lots of work, but he can't find the manpower to deal with it, right? So he doesn't know. So Tom's strategy, thinking like Tom the plumber, is to simply go and work harder. So Tom the CEO decides that he does not have enough manpower. So what he does is he tells Tom the general manager to go and get Tom the plumber to work harder and harder and harder. And Tom the plumber works harder and harder, and this is okay for a while. But then Tom can't do any more, because whilst Tom the plumber is doing the plumbing work, he's also in charge of the customer care, the HR, the sales, the marketing, and he's also the CEO and the general manager. So in this instance here, Tom has a massive demand for the services, but he doesn't have the manpower. So the problem that we really have here is Tom the HR man is not doing his job properly. So what needs to happen is Tom the CEO needs to speak to Tom the general manager and say, hey, general manager, get on to the HR guy and get that problem solved now. Because if you don't get that solved, this guy says, if you don't get that solved, I'm going to tell you to fire him. So Tom the general manager has a word with Tom the HR. Says, listen man, you need to up your game here dramatically. So Tom the HR is now struggling with Tom the plumber, but the reality is if he keeps prioritising Tom the plumber, he's never going to be able to take in more people for team 2 or team 3. So what happens then is Tom the plumber takes a day off, maybe 2 days off, even at the expense of the company. And Tom the HR guy goes into full flow to try and find new staff. Eventually he finds a new guy. So now we have Tim the plumber, okay, and then we also get a helper, which is easy enough to find. So now at this point in time, the pressure is off Tom a little bit, but he's still on the tools, okay. So as time goes on, then he has a little bit more free time to go and find another one. So next minute he goes and he finds Jason. So now he has 3 plumbers, including himself. So at this point in time, Tom can take himself out of the box here. So he's no longer doing the day-to-day work, but he's just overseeing the works. So now we have Max in here. So at this point in time, Tom is now off the tools and he's up here. And the opposite will be the same as, let's just say the situation was, so let's just say this works for a while, and now we've got 3 plumbers, 3 teams on the road. Tom's the works manager and he's also doing this stuff. And then work starts to dry up. So the CEO notices that there's not enough money coming in because it's for whatever reason. So Tom the CEO speaks to Tom the general manager, who goes down and says, lads, why aren't you doing more work? Max, Tim and Jason tell Tom, the works manager, that there's not enough work for them. So then Tom, the general manager, needs to go over to both Tom, the marketing guy, and Tom, the sales guy, and say, hey, Tom, the works manager, you need to take some time off, and you need to go and get Tom, the sales guy, upping things dramatically. So eventually, Tom, the sales guy, goes out on the road and he generates some more business. Okay, then Tom, the marketing guy, puts in he makes contact with people and they put a marketing campaign together. So all of a sudden, the company's grown again. We now have 3 teams, okay? But Tom, the works manager, is getting busy. So he wants to leave this job. So he leaves this job and he promotes Max to be the works manager. So now at this point in time, Tom can take care of sales, marketing, running the company, and being the general manager overseeing everything. Tom also takes charge of customer care, and he also takes charge of HR. Again, as the company grows, Tom might decide to take on one guy. We'll call him Frank. And because the company's not that big, Frank is coming in here and he's going to work 50-50 on sales and 50-50 on marketing. And Tom's going to come out of the equation here again. So what this means is Tom is now getting better and better at his job, and the company's growing all the time. But the difference now is Tom is not thinking like Tom the plumber anymore. Tom is now thinking like the CEO of Tom's plumbing company, and that's how Tom becomes successful. That's how Tom's Plumbing becomes successful.